on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
The sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from FedEx Field. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out 2-25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. They'll be brought out by a player who was undrafted back in 2015 out of Old Dominion. Last season, his first as a starter. It's Taylor Heinicke.
Let's face it, you don't see too many Old Dominion alums suiting up under center in the NFL. And in fact, Taylor Heinicke, the first ODU quarterback to suit up for a regular season game, not to mention doing well in the playoffs. This guy's an absolute fighter. Fought for every chance he's had in this league. Attitude, determination, those carry over to his teammates very well.
Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Looking to throw, Heinicke. And that is incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Waiting on it will be Richie James. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and of course take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones, he's going to air one out. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing Jones. He's going to try and go deep again. And all of that, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way you wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Heineke on 1st down. And this one too low. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. He wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with the Alabama rookie. That's Brian Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Washington 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Every now and then I can speak from experience, because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes, because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Once more, Gibson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
First down, Heineke. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the 8, they've got it first and goal. They'll run with Gibson. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Gibson again. Yeah, this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Heineke with a third and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fourth down. Goal at the 1. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, they kept it in the air on 4th, Charles. They ran on 1st and 2nd down, tried it through the air on 3rd and 4th. Couldn't come away with anything on 4th and goal.
And remember, in these situations, the field is really condensed. Everything is squeezed tight. So as a defender, you can actually take more chances here because they won't have as much time to throw the football, and a receiver really can't run past you. If they do, they run out of the back of the end zone. Nice job by the D, shutting them down.
Here's Jones to throw from his end zone. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. And this will be caught. It's Isaiah Hodgins. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Jones throw taken in by Slayton. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and now it's 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And they're going to get this up to midfield. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It was Deron Payne who got in there to make the play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out some...
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Of end zone in his mind, going to be the total hero, but we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Back to throw. Jones. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Daniel Bellinger. He'll make the grab. And the Giants take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point try good by Goodymo, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Goodymo now following the touchdown, here to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the Washington offense heading out. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Heineke to throw it. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Throwing, Heineke. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Gibson again. And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Gibson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Heineke now. He sets to fire deep. Watches deep. A jump ball. This is caught. 49 yards there. A big one. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Heineke. Touchdown run. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the Logan Thomas touchdown catch. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Jones throwing to start the drive. Flush to his right. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this: I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's got room. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw. Jones. He's got Bellinger. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Another pass complete to Bellinger. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
That was a special return And it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The New York set to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And they get him down to number 4. He takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Leaping, and he makes the grab. They get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 more yards here, and another first down.
Not able to completely cover on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff, Barkley running left, and he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones, catch made by Slayton. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And he will have a Giants first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. He'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. That is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. Buying time is left. And he will take it. For the Giant touchdown. Daniel Jones, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have regained the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Goodymo for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Goodymo now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. A first down throw for Heineke. Flushed out late. And he found his man, Samuel. And they work this well outfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
To throw is Heineke.
Dancing to his left. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw brought in by Bellinger.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jones is going to put it in the hands of Barkley on the option. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Off play action. Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
On to punt, Jamie Gillen. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st and 10, Heineke.
Thomas has got it. Complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. And now it's a bootleg with Heineke. That's into the hands of his tight end Bates.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Heineke. That one is slant to McLaurin.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now Heineke. He gets it to Thomas.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Heineke, throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to the ground with Gibson.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking for the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Heineke.
There he is into the end zone for Washington touchdown.
Taylor Heineke
taking it in from a yard out as his guys have now moved out in front. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Sly on for the extra point.
It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. How about Jonathan Allen there, pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Looking to throw. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's James. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
From the 44, Jones.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Jones now on 1st and 10. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. James has got it. Complete. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
It's Barkley on the counter. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a giant jumped early. Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Looking to throw. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And it looks like we've got a down set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Jones being chased down. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line.
First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Here's Heineke.
Came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
A give to Gibson running right.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Back to throw here.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. They'll look to throw here.
He's going to drop this one down to Gibson.
And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This one from 46 yards out.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's Jones throwing to start the drive. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll try the right side here. Barkley.
41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones, and that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Heineke's throw complete there to Thomas.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A handoff for Gibson.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
Just like that. Just like that.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10
at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Jones. He's got Slayton on the slant.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's got some space here.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
69 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
The last 2 possessions, the running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones
gets it quickly to Galladay. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now Jones throwing on 1st down.
That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Jones on 1st down. His pass caught at the 4. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down, ball on the 3, 1st down marker at the 1-yard line.
Up the middle with Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Jones. Steps away to his left. That's to Galladay. Touchdown, New York. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Giants are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, they scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Gano now to add the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Kenny Galladay.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Heineke. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He just needed to throw away instead. As he goes, that's a sack. The tally there, -8 yards. Leads to 4th down as well.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Jones now throwing to start the drive. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Jones. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Jones. To Barkley on the check down. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. Taken down at the 42.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down at 6 now from the 42.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
He'll look to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Like somebody thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
And possession switching back to the New York Giants. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. No gain on the play, and it will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On third down, Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
There's 6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down. Back to throw. Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken in at the 22. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes Washington's offense to take over.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Heineke on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Throwing. Heineke.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 36.
Heineke now.
Dancing, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Credit that to the former Georgia Bulldog, Azeez Ojulari getting in there to bring him down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Heineke to throw it.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
If they get nothing else here on 3rd down, it'd be a 53-yard attempt from this spot.
Now Heineke.
And Thomas has it. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now out come the Giants.
Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10.
What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go option to the short side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt. Certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Gano's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
From the gun, Heineke, complete, it's Dodson.
He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
To throw is Heineke.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's second and a yard. Play action now. Here's Heineke. It returns it right back to Samuel. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll drop the throw. And he will find his man, Samuel. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Heineke.
Flush to his right. And he takes this down to about the 2. Second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Gibson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Slide for the PAT.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley, responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Jones hit in the ball's head. Fortunate to get that football back. It's trailing here in the second half. Last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
Looking to throw. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. That's to Galladay. What a catch. And he is going to have the Giants first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Here's Jones. Connects with Slayton, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Jones signaling, let's go, trying to get his guys up to the line.
Jones. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 37.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Now Jones.
Flushed out right. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
To throw is Jones.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger.
Goodymo now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's Heineke and the Commanders. Down 34-31, 23 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Back to throw.
And Dotson, he's got it. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and short.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
He'll look to throw.
He's got McLaurin. And he is out of bounds with the first down. And 13 seconds left to go.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
They'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. He's back to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last shot now for Heineke.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.